welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a while and life's just been really hectic. As you know, I have tons and tons of work going on. But I decided to come live in front of you today to share with you my personal journey with Devi Chamunda. Alright? So before anything, let us invoke Ganpati. As you know that Ganpati is invoked before any and everything auspicious. Alright? So take a deep breath. Focus on your third eye and say Om Shring Hring Kling Glom Ganganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaye Swaha. Om Shring Hring Kling Glom Ganganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaye Swaha. Om Shring Hring Kling Glom Ganganapataye Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaye Swaha. Now with the blessings of Ganesh, I begin this kind of long discourse on the goddess Chamunda. Now, before I begin, Chamunda is the primary yogini, and I'm offering a yogini course through WhatsApp and also yogini initiations. So if you're interested, drop me a WhatsApp +91 7030258060, or you can also email me tina@tinahills.com. So, another very, very important thing is that today is about to be Chaturthi, it's Tritiya right now. So, Chaturthi blessings in advance. But another thing is very soon there'll be Ganesh Chaturthi, which is 10 days of Ganpati celebration. So, book your workshop and pujas with me for that time from now because I'm already almost booked. Alright, thank you. So, drop me an email or drop me a text on WhatsApp, but please don't call at odd hours, and please don't keep on sending texts and wanting to talk without booking a consultation. The noise is so much that I really miss out on genuine clients. So please keep the noise to a minimum if you want to consult me, or if you want to join my WhatsApp Uchishta Ganapati group, then drop me a text. But please don't keep messaging non-stop. That's a request. Now, also before I begin, please consider becoming a member of the channel. It really, really helps. And very soon with Ganpati Chaturthi and Navratri also will be coming up. There's going to be a lot of spiritual momentum. So best way to stay in touch with me honestly is through my WhatsApp group. There I put up regular updates and stuff like just sharing my space, my emotions, my feelings with you guys. So that's that. Now, before I begin, I want to do pranam, Shatakoti pranam in the charan of Ma Chamunda. It is her grace that I am here in front of you with this really, really esoteric and mysterious topic about Goddess Chamunda. Who is she? Is she a yogini? Is she a goddess? Who is Chamunda? We've all heard of Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaya Viche. Alright, we've all heard of this Navarna mantra. And through this mantra, one can achieve all the purusharths, artha, kama, dharma, moksha. So how and why and all the symbolisms and the deep meaning, the deep connection that I have with Chamunda, because my Kuladevi is also Chandi, and Chandi is none other than Chamunda. So what is the Kali Yuga slogan according to Eastern Tantric traditions? In Bengali we say Joto Mot, Toto Pot, Lokho Ek. Joto Mot, Toto Pot, Lokho Ek. So many mats or opinions or practices or systems, so many ideologies, Toto Pot. And as equal to those ideologies, you have systems and structures, magical practices that have developed. Lokho Ek, but the ultimate aim is the very same, which is realization of the self. Self-realization, self-actualization. This is ultimately the aim of us all. To realize the truth behind things, to penetrate deeply into the mystery of the cosmos. That's why we are here. Alright, that's what we all want. Some people call it Kali, like I do, or Chamunda, or Chandi, or Ganpati. Some people call it Allah. Some people call this transcendent absolute God, or Jesus Christ. Some call it Yahweh. Some have different, some call it Buddha or Shunyata. Okay, so some call it Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrians. So there is this one transcendental absolute that is being referred to by different names. Just because I call the absolute Shiva Shakti or Shiva Kali doesn't mean the absolute changes when you call the absolute Allah or God. It remains the very same. So this is the essence, the fundamental essence always remains the same. And in Tantric parlance, we call it the Shiva Shakti, the Tandav of Shiva Shakti. Alright? So, there's a beautiful song of Shyama Shongit, which is composed by the very, very eminent poet from Bengal. Pannalal sang it. I'm forgetting totally. Rajanikanta, no, not Rajanikanta. Completely forgot, I'll remember. But he says, Moge bole bhora tara, God bole phiringi jara, Khoda tomai dake, Khoda bole dake tomai, Mogul pathar shoyod kachi. জেনেছি তারা তুমি জানো ভোজের বাজি. So again, this is the same thing that, I call you Tara. Some people call you God. And the mullah calls you Allah. But you are the same. But remember, Joto Mot, Toto Pot, Lokho Ak. Aim is one. Shakta Tantrics call this Shakti Ma. Mata. In fact, India has been, I would say, the bedrock of this mother religion, okay? A matriarchal, but more than that, mother religion. The cult, in lieu of a better word, I don't know what to use, the cult of the mother goddess. So this is actually been our story. We even say Bharat Mata. So she, India to us, is the very personification of this goddess energy that we seek in Tara, in Kali, in Sodashi, in Tripura Sundari, in Bala, in Chamunda. Okay? It's the same mother principle, the divine feminine. India was never left alone to grow with this ideology, to maybe experiment more, dig deeper into this ideology, because we were non-stop invaded by different very patriarchal cultures. From time and again, we were, made to convert, we were made to eschew our religious practices. And a lot of offshoots started to happen as well. So we also lost our way. Otherwise, if India was left uninterrupted to grow with this divine feminine energy, then I don't know what we would look like today. I don't know what our history would be like. I mean, I can guess. But we were not left alone to grow, to understand this ideology that is so mother-centric, so centric to the caregiver, the primary caregiver, Ma, right? Amma. So this Ma, this Shakti, what is Shakti? Shakti is the animating principle of all things. The wind blows, that is Shakti. The sun rises, that is Shakti. The breath you take, the breath I take, the words I speak is also a form of Shakti being expressed as Vekhari, the spoken word. So this Ma is Leelamai. Leelamai means she loves to play. Lalita, she who loves to play. So immediately we understand that play is the fundamental vibration, love and play, the two fundamental vibrations that we seem to have forgotten. Because play in some ways, can also be considered as laziness or as, being a dilettante, things like that. Play in its purest form, I think, is restricted only to the upper classes who have the resources to, quote unquote, play. For the rest of us, we have in a way forgotten the essence of play. This is when Tantra reminds us that Leelamai Ma expresses her Leela as she manifests in different forms. She is Nirgun, without any definition of form or gunas, the three gunas, Sattva, Tamas, Rajas. So, as she is Nirguna, she is also Shagun, with forms. So this, her play is expressed in different forms. In you, as you're watching this, she is watching through you. You are the instrument. Okay? But it is she who is speaking through me, not me. I'm just the instrument. Because she has broken up into these infinite forms to enact this divine play, this Leela. She is the hunter as she is the hunted, as she is the flesh that is consumed. She is the consumption, she is the digestion, she is the excretion. So as I said, that this for you, this absolute can be Allah, can be God, can be Jesus, can be Kali, can be anything. But you have to understand that that one infinite infinite consciousness may not be correct because this essence is also beyond consciousness. That's para, beyond consciousness. So she's everything. That's why when we speak of, also in the Upanishads, when we speak of Brahman, we don't say what Brahman is. We use the kind of a debate way, we use neti neti. That means what Brahman is not. Okay? So the tantrics say it a bit differently because to us Kali exists. Kali and Shiva exist in everything, in every experience, in every part of life. The object of Tantra is also to become one with this Shiva Shakti essence. To become one with them, to become one with creation. To feel the unity, the sahaja connection to everything that we have lost because we are so hell-bent on so many things that somewhere that essence is lost. So this is a good reminder that everything is this divine consciousness, this divine absolute essence, if I may say so, though essence may not be correct also. So Leelavati, this Leelavati Shakti is difficult to understand. Leela Tattva is what we call it. Leela Tattva is not everyone's cup of tea. It can confuse some minds, right? This concept of play, like what do you mean by play, right? I mean, how can that be the basis of the universe? Leela Tattva is not easy to understand, especially for the uninitiated, especially for the profane. It is not easy to understand Leela Tattva. But scientists are finally saying, hey, look, this could be a simulation. In fact, Elon Musk is convinced it is a simulation. Everything is a play. So, I think Leela Tattva is possibly being accepted in many different ideologies because now we are ready to question the fundamental nature of reality. What constitutes reality? We are finally willing to understand that atoms are essentially emptiness. Everything is the great void. So, really interesting times to be alive, and I can tell you that. But how do you also digest the fact that the universe is a simulation? And what are you going to do with that fact? How does that affect you and me, you ask? Well, in a way, when you understand everything is a play, you tend to play. Be in that frame of mind. So to understand things are a leela, a sort of an illusion. Then Shiva becomes Kali, and Shiva becomes Kali. Because Shiva Shakti is together, Ardhanarishwara. And when that Kali awakens, that is Shiva only. And she is the dynamic part of it all. That is why the Viparit Methun takes place. When Kali becomes Unmukhi and sits on Shiva. So, this dynamic force of creation is feminine. And I don't mean that, okay, the males watching this need not get pissed off. Because you have feminine within you, as I have masculine within me. Told you, everything is Shiva Shakti. So if you have feminine in you, you understand Kali Tattva. If you have Shiva, in you, you understand Shiva Tattva. And not if they are in you, okay? I'm just saying if because, think of it like that, okay? Like, question yourself on this. Nurturing, creating. Chandi is a tattva, like Durga is a tattva. We can think of them as goddesses because, what does really what does the word goddess mean? What do goddesses mean? They're tattvas, they're archetypes. Alright? So this Durga tattva is a tattva, is the archetype of protection. Dum Durgaya Namah, Dum Durgaya Namah. You see how it ignites a fire inside of you. And you are ready to protect what you love. This is Durga Tattva, this is Chamunda Tattva. So you have to understand that the rishis, the Muni rishis, not Rishi Sunak, the UK Prime Minister, but rishis as in ancient sages. Sages of ancient India, Maharishis, Brahma Rishis, they burned in the fire of tapas. Okay? Tapas cannot directly be translated. It is not meditation. It encompasses a whole spectrum. It encompasses sacrifice, meditation, breath work. So this easily understood as sadhana. Through the fire generated through their sadhana, in their sadhana, the rishis channeled through tireless efforts all of this information for us. And they have directly experienced this mother. They have directly experienced Chamunda, Kali, Tara, Soroshi, Bhuvaneshwari, all of them, Chinnamasta, Dhumavati, Bagala, all of them, they have experienced this tattva directly. And then they have given it forms, because mantras are not written, they are channeled into existence. So this is again using the Akasha tattva. Okay, very, very, all forms originate in the Akash. Through the Manipur chakra, you can tune into the Akashic records and get information from there. I mean, that's what channeling is all about. Through the Manipur chakra, accessing all of this information. Now, in the dhyan form, in the trance form, that ecstatic trance form, they have experienced Chamunda. And similarly, all the Dasha Mahavidyas. Now, I'm not a Rishi or a Maharishi or a Brahma Rishi, just an ordinary person, but I live my life with this Vidya, with this knowledge. This is what I do every single day, all the time, pretty much. Reading, writing, working with people, my own tapas. And I've had a very close connection. Like I said, she's my Kuladevata Chandi. I've had a close relationship with the mantra Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Viche. Now this mantra will manifest for you things you cannot even imagine, things you cannot even begin to comprehend. It's so absolutely amazing. In fact, I'll tell you a little story that many people have asked me that who is this goddess right next to you? Okay, the goddess is Ma Kali, and this is a form in Kali Ghat, which I told you I have a very deep connection to, Ma Kali and Kali Ghat. She's only Chandi, she's only Chamunda. And they say that this form was channeled by Brahma himself. He himself perceived this form of the mother. So this form is that old. Can you imagine that? Now, Shiv Shakti, the Shiv Shakti principle that I said, that exists in all of us, in you, in me, in your enemy, in the man who stole your boyfriend, in the woman who stole, okay, man also, who stole your boyfriend, the person you love the most. This is a very same essence that runs through them. People you love, people you hate, people you are indifferent towards, people, animals, plants, bugs. The same animating principle that animates you animates them. So this realization kind of humbles you, and this is why I want to know everything I can about the Shiva Shakti principle. Now, the thing is, they are Atma Brahma in the Jivatman, they are Paramatman. Now, there is no Shakti without Shiva. Shiv actually. When you add the A, it becomes the goddess. So there's no Shakti or Kali without Shiv. There is no Shiv without Shakti. They are like this, they are eternal, two sides of the same coin, okay? And they are beyond Bhut and Bhavishya, past, present, future. They are beyond that, this principle. They are the observed, the observer, and the observation. This is so interesting if you know about the double slit experiment, right? That essentially you will record a different outcome if there is no observer. But who are the observers? Us as Shiva Shakti, we are the observers. We collapse the wave function and we manifest that point that becomes our cosmos, our universe, our reality. It's us, the observer, and we are none other than Shiva Shakti. All the experiences that we have, they are also Shiva Shakti. Everything that you experience, they manifest as temporary forms, okay? But they are eternal. You and me are temporary. This body is temporary. This video, it will only last about an hour and a half maximum. But the essence is the same. The Tandav of Shiva Shakti. The Viparit Methun of Shiva Shakti. So understand that, okay? They are the permanence and they are the change. So again, they are everything. So anything, any idea you can conceive of, at the essence of it is Shiva Shakti Tattva. Alright? Now, their eternal essence is forever embedded in the gunas when they become Shaguna. As Nirguna Brahman, Nirguna Shiva Shakti Tattva, they hold everything within them in the Ardhanarishwara form. In Kali Yuga, the quickest way to understanding this Shiva Shakti Tattva is Tantra. Tantra sadly is mistaken as either black magic or orgasmic sex groups, orgiastic sex groups. But sadly, it's not black magic, it's not curses, it's not Vashikaran, it's not witchcraft. Spells and all that, yeah, it's a very small part of it. It is possibly the best tool of development. How do you develop yourself? How do you live a more fulfilled life? How do you look better every day? How do you present yourself better? How do you age with grace? How do you find the right words to speak? All of this all of these facets of your life is enhanced by Tantra sadhana. This is the power. It ultimately, the four Purusharthas, what is the final one? Moksha, liberation. So ultimately we are all headed there, enhancing the creative within, giving us joy. I regularly use words like play, like joy. These are very important to hold in your being. Joy, the joy of doing something. I feel the joy of doing this video, which is why I spend hours prepping, channeling, doing certain Purushcharnas of the mantra, connecting to Ma Chamunda, dressing up, finding the right thing to wear. So it is because to me this is fun, this is joyful, right? So this very essence, this is what Tantra gives. It gives you joy. That's why I tell all my students that the key to sadhana is bhava, emotions. The key to sadhana is joy. The key to sadhana is connection. No matter how many chants you do of a mantra, if you are not emotionally connected, if you are not feeling, then you're not doing it correctly. Then you cannot blame the tantra, you cannot blame the deity. It's on you to find the connection. Don't you see, it was always ever about you. So this is something that we have to think of. It's not witchcraft, it's not sex, it's all of these things are a small part of it, believe me. But that's not the be all and end all of Tantra Shastra, which is as old as time itself. The thing is that with the mantras, with the focus on the chakras, with the bijas, there's a flame of divine awareness that is ignited within us. And that flame of divine awareness is the connection that we need to feel fulfilled. We can fulfill ourselves, nobody else can, nothing external can. Everything is temporary. The Tandava of Shiva Shakti, ephemeral, forever disappearing into the abyss of nothingness. Like evanescent bubbles. Can you imagine when you take that liquid and you blow a bubble? So beautiful, and then it pops. It's not going to hold form forever. So this evanescence, the feeling that nothing is permanent, this is reality, and this is in this kind of shift and flux, and it can be quite morbid for us. It can be trauma inducing. In that case, it is this divine flame that has been ignited within us through our tapas, through our tireless efforts. This is what connects us. When everything separates us, that is what connects us. When everything is divisive and exclusive and, troubling for the soul, this is one thing that keeps us in this quantum entanglement. That we are blissful because we feel connected. So this is something to remember, that this is what Tantra does, this is what Mantra does, this is what Mudra does, this is what Dhyana does, this is what Dharana does, and ultimately Samadhi. Now, if you try to worship without devotion, then don't bother. If you are not emotionally connecting to your practice, if it doesn't set your, heart on fire, okay, every day it will not set your heart on fire. I totally agree. But on those occasions, today my heart is on fire because today is Chaturthi and today I'm gonna be doing my Ganpati Puja. And I usually do the pujas for other people. I have a client today and I have clients all day tomorrow. But mostly after 12 midnight, I will be with my Ganpati and my Matangi. I will be connected to them. And that is making my heart sing, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited, and I'm going to put my best foot forward. That, if you don't feel that, if it becomes a chore for you, then you're doing it wrong. It's very sahaja, you see, it's very simple. And it's not like if you don't have the connection, you'll never get it. That's not true at all. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a new day to try. If you do not ignite passion, love for your higher self is sitting in front of you as Ganpati, as Uchishta Ganpati. Your higher self is sitting in front of you as Ma Kali. You're watching yourself, you're showing the mudras to your unconscious. Why would you not want to spend time with yourself? Why would you not feel passionate about it? Tomorrow, if you have to go on a date, you're very passionate and you're very excited and, oh my God, I have this date, I'm excited. But when it comes to spending time with yourself in the form of different deities, your higher self, then no, okay, I have to do it. Oh my God, how many do I have to do? How many days do I have to do? People ask me this all the time and I tell them this is a lifelong practice. This is something you should do every single day. Some form of spiritual practice, 1 hour a day. It's nothing. So keep that in mind. True devotion, true love for your deity. This is what gives us Shiv Shakti Samras. This is the dropping of the Soma. Okay, so cosmic secrets are revealed, intuition grows, the past, present and future become clear. So the Samras, it lifts the veil that is all around, the illusion, the simulation, and we see the woman in the red dress in the matrix, right? Or we see the black cat and there's a glitch, and our mind knows that there is a glitch. So this is something that you have to develop: love, emotions, devotions, all right, devotional attitude, surrender, being able to cry if you need to, release, purge, all of this. Now, the thing is that yes, we take sankalpam and then we do puja, but what I tell people that don't ask for anything. Just do your mantra and watch how it manifests. I stopped asking for anything for myself ages ago, because I spend so much time asking for other people that I really don't need to ask for myself at all. So this, I always tell you guys that worship with devotion, worship with love, just surrender to the Devi, just surrender to Ganesh, just surrender to Bhairo, just surrender to Krishna, just surrender to any of the Vidyas. Don't look for anything and everything will happen. What you never expected will happen. Mark my words. Chamunda she killed Chamunda, the two asuras. She is very wrathful and she cuts off their heads. Now, she is none other than Ma Kali, because when Ma Kali killed Chamunda, that's when she was known as Chamunda. Okay, and Chamunda is a very wrathful emanation. Key thing is, Ma is Bahurupi. She has thousands of forms, infinite forms. Why? Because she is Bahurupi. In the Agni Purana, in the 146th chapter, fixes the number of matrikas as 8, each of whose name is preceded by the name Chamunda. So in this text, on the 146th chapter, we see that the number of matrikas have been fixed to 8, because we also have Shapta matrikas. But in Agni Puran, we find the mention of the Ashtamatrikas. And their name is preceded by Chamunda. So we immediately understand that Devi Chamunda is a big part of the Matrika pantheon. For instance, Chamunda, Chamunda Brahmani, Chamunda Maheshwari, and the last two being Chamunda Chandi and Chamunda Ishani. Second chapter gives names of Ashtashtak goddesses. Ashtashtak is an 8 into 8, 64. 64 yoginis who belong to the line of Chamunda and are worshipped in Avaranas. This is of the Agni Puran, second chapter. So we see that all the yoginis basically have emanated from Devi Chamunda. Alright, and who's Chamunda? When Kali killed Chandamunda, that's when she became Chamunda. Chamunda Kulasambhuta Mandale Pujite Jaye. Chamunda Kulasambhuta Mandale Pujita Jaye. That means each of these Chamundas must be worshipped individually in the Avaranas. So Chamunda is also the purest form of Chandi, Chandi Durga, and she is the chief yogini of the 64 yoginis. Chamunda is the chief yogini, and even in the Matrikas, her name is before all the other Matrika names, preceded by Chamunda. So Chamunda Brahmani, Chamunda Maheshwari, like that, so on and so forth. She is mentioned in Devi Mahatmya and Markandeya Puran. Very important is 8 matrikas are variations of Chamunda. Some of the things I am saying may seem repetitive, but it's imperative that you get the concepts straight, pit, pat. Chamunda actually is very, very close to Ganesh, which is why Chaturthi seemed like such a good day to get this going, because Chaturthi falls in a few hours for me in India. Very, very close to Ganesh. In fact, you cannot even worship Chamunda without appeasing Vinayak, and I'll get to that. In Devi Puran, she and her aides, 5 aides, helped Ganesh in slaying asuras. Sage Mandavya has spoken of the prayers to Matripanchaka, the 5 mothers. Now Odisha, Bengal, Assam and Bihar, this is the Shakta belt, primarily Bengal, but all these places, Odisha especially, because the yogini temples are mostly in Odisha and MP. It's full of tantric history actually. Varahi is worshipped there. Chamunda Chamunda is worshipped there, and they are the fiercer side of, the more fierce side of Devi. In temples like Vaithal and Varahi temple, we see 15 images, and in this arrangement, we see Chamunda. This is where we see the iconography of Chamunda. She is highly emaciated, very thin, terrific form, scary, it instills fear. It's scary to the uninitiated. Chamunda, seated on a pretasana, on a spirit. And she appears to be the central deity of this particular Vaithal temple in Orissa. Her skinny and shriveled belly with protruding ribs and veins can make her appear macabre, weird even. Like, what does this mean? Is this like demonic? And she also has a Bhairav who's skinny with a protruding phallus. So again, there are a lot of connections to Chamunda with procreation and copulation and Maithun. Okay, a lot of Maithun rites. So her Bhairav has a protruding phallus and also is as skinny as her. Very interesting temple, Vital temple. Although Chamunda is Chandi, they are each worshipped as presiding Kuladevis or protectresses. So both of them are the same, but in you can call your mom mother or mom. I call my mom Ma. Okay, my daughter calls me Marma. Somebody may call their mother Ambi. Somebody may say I. Okay, so it's the same, right? It's the mother. She doesn't change. Just because I call my mother mom today and I tomorrow, she's not going to change. So just because I call her Chamunda, Kali, Tripura Sundari, Sodashi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Bagala, she doesn't change. Matangi, Kamla, she doesn't change. She is the same. So this is something very, very important to understand, that the mother is the same, but they are worshipped in different names. Most famous Navarn mantra, Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha. Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha. Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha. I teach the workshop of Chamunda and Navarn mantra Prayog also. And any any complications can also be solved by Navarn mantra chanting. So if you want to know more about that, and if you want to get initiated in Chamunda Vidya, then drop me an email. First Vinayak will be taught, and then Navarn mantra will be taught. This particular Navarn mantra is very, very close to Ma Durga. And in fact, if you chant Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha, Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha, Om Aim Hreem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha, all the manifestations of Shakti are appeased with this. Alright, there is a way to chant this, and this mantra must be energized through the 7 chakras with dharana or meditation, as in mind, thought impressions. So, all swarups of Shakti, all manifestations of Shakti are happy if you chant the Navarn mantra. All purusharthas are fulfilled, all sin is destroyed. Also, of course, you cannot keep committing sins and doing this thinking you will be absolved of your sins. No. It means you've made a clear cut with that lifestyle, that those decisions. You have reformed yourself and you're committed to, um, you're committed to the clearance of your sins. Only then. Don't think that, oh, I killed a man and I go take a dip in the Ganges, or I do the Purushcharna of Navarn mantra and all my sins will be destroyed. No. Yeah, if you go to the police, if you give yourself up, if you vow never to kill another person again, if you do your time in the jail, if you come out and become a model citizen, reformed, willing to take responsibility, willing to help other people, you become a contributing member of your community, then the Navarn mantra will absolve you of the sins that you have committed. So, keep that in mind. At least 20 parrots have come right outside my balcony. I don't know if you can hear them, but they were quite loud. Now, all work, like if you've had like some pending work that was just not being completed, or if you had no way to basically break out of a deadlock, then Navarn mantra, you should definitely take initiation in the Navarn mantra. Protection from entities, all kinds of black magic, curses, spells, all of that all hexes, all of that can be removed with Navarn mantra prayog and with the help of with the blessing of Devi Chamunda. Now, Shaptamatrikas, I told you in the Agni Puran they became Ashtamatrikas. Then we had the Ashtashtak Devis. Saptamatrikas, their antiquity is shrouded in the sands of history. They are age old, I tell you, shrouded in mystery. Alright? And very, very mysterious. The Shaptamatrikas, the Ashtamatrikas, the Yoginis, Ashtashtak Devis, very, very mysterious. 8 Matrikas have been mentioned in Devi Bhagavatam and Linga Puran. Subsequently, 16 Matrikas have also been worshipped. So we see how the number is increasing. Markandeya Puran says Matrikas helped Devi Ambika to kill Rakta Bij, and here she is known as Rakta Chamunda. Rakta Bij, I've told that story here hundreds of times, I think, on my channel and to my students. In Bhuvaneshwar temple, called Parashurameshwar temple, the Saptamatrikas are depicted flanked by Veerabhadra, who is none other than Bhairo, and Ganesh. So I told you that if you are worshipping Chamunda, you have to go through Navarn mantra especially. You have to appease Ganpati in the form of Vinayak, and you have to appease Bhairo in the form of Veerabhadra. Otherwise, you do not have access to Shaptamatrikas or Devi Chamunda, any form of Shakti actually. And these Shaptamatrikas are Chamunda, Varahi, Indrani, Vaishnavi, Kaumari, Maheshwari, Brahmani. Alright? And all these figures are four-handed. Chamunda has one lily bud and one Vijapura in her right hand. And in her left hand she holds Trishul and Kapal with blood. Her Vahan is an owl. Alright, is on a pedestal and she is sitting atop her Vahan. Very supernatural looking, okay? Drooping breasts, sunken belly, bulging eyes, right? The thing with these Saptamatrakas, Ashtamatrakas, Yoginis, Darshamahavidyas, they do not conform to the conventional idea of the divine feminine, where she's beautiful, she's merciful, she is, sacrificial. I believe that the Shaptamatrakas, the Yoginis, the Dashamahavidyas are trying to convey a different side to the Shakti principle, a different side to it. So this is why it can appear weird to the uninitiated. Why does she have drooping breasts, sunken belly, completely shriveled up skin? It can appear scary to the uninitiated. The bulging eyes, like she's looking at you. She's really looking at you, So you feel like somewhere you've been violated, because there's so many things in us that we want to hide, right? There was a beautiful song. I'm forgetting it right now. It's a Shama Shongit again. The point is that I'm completely forgot. All I remember is Ami Laje Mori Amar Moner Bhetor ki, something like that. That means that I am embarrassed to know that the divine knows everything that is in my heart. I'm embarrassed. Ami Laje Mori. I'm dying of embarrassment. That hey Hari, you know what is in my heart. I wish I could remember that song. I mean, I'm just thinking about the Shaptamatrakas, and then boom, this song just goes out of my hand. And it is such a phenomenal song. I really wish I could remember, but Mom, really, I wish you'd remind me, but no, she doesn't want me to tell you. Okay, now Chamunda lives in the smashan and lives on fig trees. So many people ask me, offering to Goddess Chamunda, which you shouldn't be giving anyway if you're not initiated, because then this energy is dangerous. You cannot do Navarn mantra. Firstly, it is not energized, so it is not going to give you the results that you want. But because you open certain channels, certain subtle channels, because you're saying Om Aim Reem Kleem, Om Aim Reem Kleem Chamundaya Vicha, it's opening things. Shakti is circulating in you. So with this, you can manifest something dangerous, like some kind of electricity that could like if you touch electricity, suddenly you get a shock, something like that can happen. But yeah, for the initiated, offering her figs or doing her mantra under a fig tree, greatly beneficial. She lives in the smashan, so she's a smashan vasini. She sits in a pretasan. Her Bhairo is Rudra. In some iconography, she is depicted with children on her lap or on the side. Alright? Okay. Chamunda can be seen as bareness and decay. But in fact, she symbolizes the very opposite to the initiated. The very opposite, in fact. Such is the ciphering, that you have to understand that whatever you read it as, with an uninitiated mind, it is the very opposite. That's why all of these texts are ciphers and ciphers and ciphers. We'll speak about this, about Kala Jnana Nirnaya Tantra, of Matsyendranath, Dadaguru Matsyendranath. When I make that video, we'll speak about that text, and we'll speak about the ciphering, the system of something meaning something depicted meaning the very opposite. So it's very interesting. She symbolizes the very opposite of decay and bareness. She's in fact abundance. All right. She's in fact growth, unprecedented growth. That is the energy of Chamunda. Her jata is tied up in a chignon and decorated with a tiara of skulls and a crescent moon. So this crescent moon symbolizes Somras Tattva. Shiva Shakti Somras Tattva. And her scowl is showing, she's scowling, okay, like scowling and showing her bare teeth. And believe me, most depictions of Chamunda will scare you. Those protruding eyeballs are staring at us menacingly from sunken sockets in her skeletal face. So face is all skeletal. And she's got these protruding, bulging eyes, almost falling out of her sunken sockets, okay? A snake is her necklace. Decaying flesh, her flesh is decaying and sagging. And just right beneath her collarbone, there's decaying and sagging flesh. Above her navel sits a scorpion. Of course, we know that the Rashi Vrishchik or Scorpio, it's connected to Jalatattva Swadhisthana Chakra. Swadhisthana, sacral chakra. So the Vrishchik Rashi also being the natural 8th house of Kalpurush Kundali. This is the Swadhisthana Chakra, Jalatattva, the sex chakra. Symbol for progeny, symbol for sexuality. And that is why she is often depicted with a child, either on her lap or next to her. Is this connection to progeny? Is this connection to the Swadhisthana? So people with infertility, people who cannot conceive, people who cannot retain the fetus in the womb, people who have stillbirths, all of them, the Navarn mantra is actually very, very powerful for you. Now, Dr. J. N. Tiwari, in his text, Goddess Cults in Ancient India, has written, Chandi can be conceived of as the main goddess in Chandi Shashtaka, okay? But the Devi is often addressed as Parvati. I told you that she is Durga, she is Parvati, she is Kali. Dr. Vasudev Agarwal, in his critique of Vaman Purana, has said, Himavat's daughter Parvati is identical with what in Tantra we know as Kundalini. Parvati is Kundalini, Parvati is Chandi, Parvati is Chamunda, Kundalini. The main Chandi of the Sapta Chandis, known as Chandika, is Kali, Kaushiki, Uma, Bhairavi, and she is the primary Trishakti. Trishakti, Vaishnadevi, you will find the shrine of Trishakti, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. Alright, so this Chandi, basically who's Chandika, is also Kali, and she is also known as Kaushiki, known as Uma, and known as Bhairavi. She emanated on Sandhi Tithi between Ashtami and Navami during Durga Puja. That's why the Shondhi Tithi or Sandhi Tithi between Ashtami and Navami during Navratri is the time to chant Navarn mantra. It's the best time to chant the Navarn mantra. Her dhyana mantra can be found in the text Shri Tattva Chintamani by Paramhamsa Purnananda. He gives Varahi Dhyan mantra first, and then he gives Chamunda and then Mahalakshmi. Chamunda is worshipped in the Sandhi, like I told you. That is when she appeared. She is Ghora or Prachanda. She is Ghora or Prachanda. In Yagyavalkya Smriti, the rituals to pacify Chamunda has been given. The rituals have been given. One has to worship Vinayak, who is none other than Ganpati, in a specific way. And only then can you access the Vidya of the Navarn mantra and Chamunda. In subsequent years, during the Kushan period, Mahadev Puja was done with Matrakas, Yoginis as Bhairav. So we have Bhairav and we have Ganpati or Vinayak, and we cannot do away with any of them during Shakti Sadhana. In Skanda Puran, in chapter Avanti Kanda, the worship of Saptamatrika Chakra is prescribed in place of Yogini Chakra, the Saptamatrikas. I named the Saptamatrikas for you. As explained before, in Chandi Part, we see her referred to as Durga. She is Durga, Chamunda. Durga is possibly the best and the best known and the most important single aspect of Shakti. Because everybody knows Durga. She is worshipped in 9 forms also as Navadurga. One set of 9 forms is, one set of 9 names is indicative of the more destructive aspect of Durga. Each name contains Chanda. So here we have the more benign forms of Durga. Durga, Ishani, Brahmani, Maheshwari, all those guys. Alright, then now we have the fierce. The Navadurgas also more softer versions. Okay, softer versions of Durga. But now these 9 names that I'll give you, one set of the Navadurga 9 names are different sets, by the way, in different texts. One set exemplifies a wrathful aspect of Durga. And there is Chanda in all the names. Ugra Chanda, Prachanda, Chandogra, Chandanaika, Chanda, Chandavati, Chandarupa, Ati Chandika, Rudra Chandika. So see how this Chanda, the fierce aspect of Durga, in one set of names of the Navadurga, you'll find these 9 names. In Kalika Puran, Chandika is a yogini. But this is the principal name given to Devi in Devi Mahatmaya. Among the yoginis, there are Kalika, Kaushiki, Ambika, Shakambhari, Bhima, Brahmari. These are the names with which Chandika identifies herself. Kalika Puran reflects a tradition in which yoginis are not mere attendants, but 64 varying aspects of Shakti. So I told you that many people consider that, the yoginis are attendants of the goddess. But actually, everything is a form of the goddess, you, me. So the 64 yoginis are but forms of the great Devi, Chandika or Durga. In this chapter, this particular chapter, we learn that the 64 yoginis are to be worshipped individually. Yoginistu chatushtashti pujayet prithak prithak. Yoginistu. Chatushashti pujayet prithak prithak. And now I will read to you from a little excerpt. I told you it's going to be long, this video. There exists a few other lists of yoginis that do not belong to either group A or group B and also exclude matrikas. One such example is the Kashi Khanda list of Skanda Puran, in which the yoginis either have bird and animal heads, or alternatively are fierce in character. Their names are clearly descriptive, and include, to name just a few, Marjorie, Crounchy. Marjorie is the cat face. Crounchy, the heron faced. Kaputika, the dove faced. Ulukika, the owl faced. Suki, the parrot faced. Seni, the hawk face. Kakatundika, crow-beaked. Simhamukhi, lion-faced. Mrigasira, Mrigasirsha, deer-headed. Swadamstra, canine-toothed. And Vikatanana, fearsome-faced. A second list of yoginis, excluding matrikas, is found in Devi Bhagavat Puran and in a manuscript in Baroda collection, the Sarada Tilak Tantra. However, unlike group A and B, these names are generally indicative of divinity and include some of the yoginis of the famous Sri Chakra. Now, I have said that the yoginis of the Sri Chakra are connected to the 64 yoginis, but some believe that maybe they are not. However, in Sharada Tilak Tantra, these Sri Chakra yoginis are mentioned. Ananda Madana, Ananda Mekhala, Ananda Kusuma. Those of you who learn Sri Vidya with me, you know these yoginis. Ananda Mekhala, Ananda Kusuma, Ananga Madana, all of these guys. So while the various configurations of the Sri Chakra are presided over by a yogini, these Sri Chakra yoginis, as we have seen, are conceptually different from the yoginis of the Yogini temple, and they stand distinctly apart. Their inclusion here suggests that the Sharada Tilaka list is of a late compilation, which collected and amalgamated names from varying traditions. So this is interesting to note that the yoginis, the 64 primary yoginis, Chamunda and the Shaptamatrakas and all, there is a slight variation from all the Sri Chakra yoginis. Yet later on, especially with time in Sharada Tilak Tantra and all these texts, we've seen that they've sort of been wedded together, those yoginis and these yoginis. So as I said, the term yogini, even I'm a yogini. Now on Instagram, every bendy woman is hashtagging yogini. Chamunda is the chief yogini, but what does actually define a yogini? What are the traits that define a yogini? So a lot of history, mythology, local traditions, customs, mores, all have been wedded together. So that's why I keep saying that, Tantra in a sense is losing its fundamental truth. So if we don't retain what Tantra Shastra is, it's going to be known only as, how to have better orgasms or how to do Vashikaran, literally. This is what Tantra Shastra will be reduced to if we do not redefine the term. Shakti is awakening, the divine feminine is awakening. She's not gonna take it sitting down now. She is, and she's Chamunda. So, boom, like I told you that in the Devi Mahatmaya, the Yoginis are Kalika, Kaushiki, Ambika, Shakambari, Bhima, Brahmari, Bhima. So you see, Bhima means the terrific, Bhima, big, Brahmari. That's why I say that, that's why I teach my students Brahmari, which is a very, very important thing to do to awaken the Kundalini. Alright, let's get on with our discussion. Chandika is worshipped in Jalandhar, by the way, in the Devi Talab Mandir. Devi Talab Mandir. The new mandir has been built recently, but there is an old temple of the goddess Kali. Her right breast fell there. You know the whole story of the Tandav. I'm not going to go into that again, but you know the story of Tandav. So her right breast fell there, and Ma Kali here is known as Tripura Malini. Bhairo is Bhishan Bhairo. Now, if you're interested to visit Jalandhar Shakti Peeth, then if you want me to be your guide, then drop me an email. I'm now offering spiritual tourism services where you can book me as a companion to go with you on these very, very beautiful trips to different parts of India, different really old Shakta temples, and do sadhana. Mostly for women, honestly. It's not for men, but couples or big groups, absolutely welcome. In fact, I would love big groups, with children and wives and husbands and girlfriends and boyfriends and boyfriends and boyfriends. All of that is okay. So it's very interesting, this Jalandhar temple, and especially the thing is that there's so many old temples that have so much history. That Kamakhya first, Kamru Kamakhya, I mean, even if it's not Ambubachi, believe me, just going there is absolute magic, absolute magic. So if you want to visit with me, drop me an email and we can plan everything out. Also, I am offering Chandi Path recited during this time of distress. So if you want to get your own Chandi Path done, you can call me. Or if you want to contribute to the Chandi Path that I will be doing for welfare of all, Sarva Mangala Bhavatu, for all people, you can contribute in that ritual. So, that Chandi Path is done for everybody, but I'm also doing individual Chandi Paths. And do not miss out on my WhatsApp course. It's really impactful little meditations and write-ups that play and interact with your intuition. That just, with the beach, the mudra, the pranayam, it just connects you to a deeper side that you may not be able to access easily. A lot of books on Devi Chamunda, the Dasha Mahavidyas, and Tantra Shastra in general has been lost in Nalanda. Nalanda being one of our most ancient universities. And who broke it? A man called Bakhtiyar Khilji from the Turco-Afghan army. He was a general of the Turco-Afghan general, I think, yes. Bakhtiyar Khilji. He ransacked and burnt and destroyed Nalanda University and its library. And this, in fact, was one of the biggest cultural genocides that I can perceive of. because we've lost all our texts, all our Dashamavidya, Yogini, Kaulapat texts. We've lost Devi Chamunda texts, all at Nalanda. So many teachers of Nalanda were actually Buddhists, and their main deity was Heruka. My next video coming up would be Vajrayan and Shakta Tantra and analysis. So if you're interested, drop me a comment below. Some of their names was Vajratara, Vajrayogini, Vajrachandika. These teachers who taught. Many of them were females in Nalanda University. So basically, when Bakhtiyar Khilji burned Nalanda, the books were burning for months on end. Months on end. And not only tantric texts were lost, but tons of Buddhist texts were also lost. And Nalanda was such a place which housed international students of great intellectual caliber. Many people, China, Tibet, Nepal, Iran, all these sides, they would come and study in Nalanda. Basically, these guys, after that Bakhtiyar Khilji burned Nalanda, these teachers, they took a lot of the texts and they went to Mahachin, which is Tibet, China. A lot of our tantric Chamunda texts went to China, where it was developed and adapted into Vajrayan Buddhism. Because you have to understand that Tantra at this stage was widely practiced in Tibet, Mongolia, China, Java, Japan. All these places, there was infiltration of tantric practices in all of these places. Now the key point to take from this lecture, as Dasha Mahavidyas are different references of Kali. Similarly, Sri Chandika is also called Durga, Parvati, Bhavani, Uma, Kaushiki, Kali, Tara, Chamunda, Varahi, etc. So, at the end of the lecture, I hope you realize that the divine feminine is indescribable, is infinite. Our brains cannot grasp the concept of Leela Tattva, Shakti Tattva, Shiva Tattva. So the rishis, they described whether it be the Shaptamatrikas, the Yoginis, the Dasha Mahavidyas, they interacted with these energies, and then they gave us descriptions and archetypes and mantras and mutras and puja vidhis and all of that. So I hope you found this interesting, especially if you are interested in a topic like this, Shakti Tantra and the Yoginis and Chamunda, because Chamunda is not really a Devi who's spoken of by many people. So thank you for being here. It was nice to be back in YouTube. Like I said, that this is my playtime, and I immensely enjoy being here with you and to discuss the divine feminine in all her manifestations. And thank you. Consider becoming a member of the channel. And if you'd like to book a reading with me or book a workshop with me, then drop me an email or contact me on WhatsApp. Thank you and speak soon. Bye-bye.